Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hi. Hey.
You want to put those?
You're about to enter the ride of your life.
Really?
Yeah.
I really want to go to Sitka.
We got the, if you want to throw your pack in the back, you can open up that back door there.
Yeah, if there's room. Great.
Yeah, we should get him to do his life story or something.
Yeah.
Or his life.
Maybe we could sing like a Spanish song. So, hello.
Hi.
We're not kidding. This is a group from Philadelphia,
Get out.
and they're doing
We're videotaping you. Hope you don't mind.
On what? Hi.
Just kidding. His taxi cab
Video.
profession.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that means I'm gonna have to pay it. This is a taxi. No, I'm from Michigan. Hi, my name's Alan Striegel. When you pulled in the camp, I'm like, I hope they head back towards Sitka.
What are you doing here in Sitka?
Getting wet and hopefully kayaking for a couple days. I'm gonna meet with the renters today and got a cabin up on Middle Island, about 5 or 6 miles from Sitka that I'm gonna stay on 2 nights. So.
All by yourself?
Yeah.
You just cruise
Yeah, I
around?
can't find any friends dumb enough to come with me. So. What is with this?
Yeah,
This is really a group from Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you?
We're traveling across the country and shooting videos and interviewing people.
Outstanding.
So you're on now. So
I'm a guinea pig.
Hi, my name is Ron Mears. I'm here in Sitka, Alaska. I've been here for 35 years, almost. I was born and raised in Newburgh, New York. Actually born in West Point, New York. Raised most of the time in Newburgh, New York. Parents moved back here to Alaska. And so since I was raised here primarily, I've stayed here the whole time. I've traveled all over the West Coast and find Alaska to be probably the most secure place for me to live anyway. I don't care to deal with crime and all that nonsense. I'd like to just be able to leave my house and leave it open and get in a boat and go when I want to go and not deal with a million people. I have 2 kids. I raised those kids here and they're now since grown and live in, one in Washington and one just went to Canada actually before he heads off to India. So my kids wound up being raised real well from this atmosphere, so I've just enjoyed living here the whole time. My wife is also employed here at the local paper office, and the 2 of us have fairly good jobs here in town and intend to stay here for quite a while yet, as far as I know. Although the more it rains, the more I want to pack up and leave here soon. I think I need some sunshine real soon.
It looks like that on the other side. That ledge. And then it goes down to the bottom. No, the ledge is just on the same side, same height. But there's a ladder down the ledge, just like this, and you have to bring yourself all the way to the bottom, but it doesn't have a cage around it. Blueberry? Oh! Dang it.
My name's Jen. I'm 16 years old. I live in Sitka, Alaska, zip code 99835. I don't know much about any other place in the world, and when I look around, the scenery is so beautiful. Obviously, I don't know what to talk about, but I feel so small in this town because it's such a small town, and there's so much that I don't know, and I want to travel so bad. I have dreams of going on walkabouts with my cat. His name's Puck. I wish he was here. He sits on my shoulder. He's about 2 handfuls big, like that. And he's black and white with 24 toes. I love my cat. My best friend gave him to me. He has such a soul. He has such a character in him. And I want to go on a walkabout, and I want to hop trains with my little stove, my cat, and April, my best friend. And I want to hop trains, and I want to go to Asia, and I want to go to Africa, and I want to live all the dreams that I have. I had this dream once where it was just pitch black and I was curled up, such as this, and I was like, I guess I was inside the soul of a flower, and I was this very small, microscopic, smaller than that even, little energy in this flower, and I was helping it grow, and I came out and I started growing like a fetus inside this flower, going up the stem, and I turned into a leaf coming out, and then as the flower shriveled for the next season, I migrated upwards, and then I turned into a different leaf or a different thorn, and at the end of the dream, I've dodged so much pain and so much suffering as this flower in the rain and the scorching sun in the winter season, and like dogs and cats and people trying to step on me or missing me or whatnot. And at the end of the dream, I bloom into the final rosebud of this big flower, and it's a huge flower, and I come out and I just flew away and entered into another life. And then I woke up.
Wasa ituwati, kajasti ish yukat duwasak, gechna ayakat, deshitan ayakat. I gave a basic greeting in Tlinget, my native language. My Tlinget name is Kajasti Ish, and if you can't pronounce that, David's okay too. I am of the Raven clan in Tlinget society, and under that, Deshitan, which means village at the end of the trail. Oh my gosh, there's a long legend behind it, but it goes back to a time when a group of Tlinget were looking for a place to call home, and they followed this beaver down this trail, and they came to a spot, and that's where they became known as Deshitan, or the village at the end of the trail. And because they followed this beaver, the beaver became a clan emblem for the Deshitan. And but there's it's a lot longer in the actual telling, and it would take hours to tell it probably, and there's songs that go with it, but I'd have to have permission from our clan elders to actually recount verbatim and the songs. But I thought I'd like to bring a little bit of attention to the world about Tlingit culture here in Alaska. We call ourselves Tlinget, and we consider ourselves to be Native Americans, not Eskimos. Sometimes we get quite perturbed when somebody asks us if we're an Eskimo, and we're not, but we're still very proud to be Alaskans, and you'll probably see, we're not all ice and snow here, but it does get quite cold at times. But it's like I really love sharing with people about the Tlingit culture and language. One of the words you would hear quite often in Tlingit society is gunachchesh, which means thank you. In order to pronounce it correctly, you have to learn a new sound which doesn't exist in English. For example, say well, and notice where your tongue is on the L position, and keep your tongue there, and breathe out, kind of hissing like a cat, and you have a sound which is one of the easier sounds to learn in Tlingit, believe it or not. There are more complex sounds, but it's part of gu nach chesh, and as I said before, that means thank you. Now, if you really mean it from the bottom of your heart, you add on a little bit more and goes Gunach ho ho. And if you can pronounce that, you'll get quite far in Tlingit society.
They got washed out.
Yeah, why do you like this place?
It's warm, comfortable. I'm surrounded by trees and water, and I've lived in the woods all my life, so it's pretty comfortable to me.
So when did you move to Sitka?
I moved here about 95, 96.
So you think you're going to stay here after you finish school?
No,
Where do you want to go?
I'd like to maybe move to Juneau or go back to my island. I think the best place for me would be my island, though. We're here, and I used to live over here in Cake. These are very small letters, K-A-K-E. Well, we didn't want to stay in town Cake because there's not enough people and not enough housing, so we lived on an island right there. It's a nice sized island, and we owned it. So it's called Cookie's Island. My dad's name is Cookie. And
How big was it?
it was 2 miles long and 1 mile wide. And it had 2 lagoons. We lived between the 2 lagoons, and we grew crab and clams and all sorts of stuff in the lagoons. And see, the best fishing is right off this point right here. So we get the biggest and the best halibut. And that's how we lived. We fished for our food. But then we ran out. We didn't have any place to live, and my dad ran out of work, so we moved over here, Sitka.
Where is that again?
Sitka. We are here.
I came from New York. I was a baby. My father was a research biologist transferred to Southeast Alaska by the government. And I have a good coming to Alaska story. Everybody has a good coming to Alaska story. My particular story, yes, that. My father came, and he got everything ready. And my mother came. Now, this is 1941, and it was very unusual then to bring a baby to Alaska. People were shocked. So my mother arranged for her sister to accompany her, and they traveled on a steamship. And on the first stop on their way to Alaska was Ketchikan. So this was the first stop. They'd been on the water now for several days, and they wanted to get off the boat. So they had this charming sleeping baby, and they paid somebody to watch the baby, and they went ashore. And they walked around and looked at everything, and when they came back, the boat was gone. My aunt started to scream. My mother started to wail. And somebody called the police. And the police came roaring down and found out what's the matter. These 2 screaming ladies. Oh, they said, it's nothing. The boat has moved over to the oil dock to take on fuel. We will take you over there. So my mom and my aunt got into the Black Maria police car, they called it. And just for fun, they turned on their siren and they trundled over to the oil dock. But that was sort of the beginning of the adventure. My mom and aunt were very happy, but all those little missionary ladies on the boat that were on their way to different missions in Alaska saw my mom and my aunt arrive back at the boat in a police car. So of course they couldn't talk to them anymore. Then my mother and my aunt were isolated for the rest of the trip. So that's one coming to Alaska story. I grew up on an experimental fur farm. We had foxes, mink and marten, and one of the things my father did was go out in the Aleutian Islands and trap wild animals to breed with domestic animals to improve fur, and he did many experiments that were interesting to us when we were growing up, with eagles, with wolves, with sonic booming pregnant animals. There was lots of interesting things. Myself, I have lived in Russia. I have traveled all parts of the world. I am delighted to leave Alaska. I love to leave. But even more, I love to come back. That's my favorite thing. Hi.
Hey Alice, we have the folks from Termite TV and they wanted to check out the studio. Do you mind?
Do you mind if we just videotape you? Hi.
And Dorothea. Yeah. Old.
I'll let you guys handle Alice and Alice can handle you guys. Right?
How's it been going? I've been wondering what you guys have been... Okay. I'm going to tell you again, we got a press conference coming up. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Regional Headquarters at 11 o'clock, which is mighty soon. And I'm going to play you another one of those Latin ones. Did you already hear what's going on?
Is this after the elections?
No, it's about the new regulations. The federal subsistence management's taken over the whole Alaska because over there in Juneau they couldn't agree. The House passed a bill, but the Senate, I think I got it right, the Senate turned it down. And so, because Alaska, the state itself, couldn't agree on what they were going to do with subsistence, you know, the federal's taken it over. It's been coming for quite a while. And it happened today. This is KCAW Sitka. I'm going to get out of there and go to that.
Taylor with the Alaska Public Radio Network. In a moment, we will join a live broadcast of a news conference being held this morning in Anchorage by Marilyn Hyman, who is the Special Assistant to Secretary of Interior Bruce Babbitt. The subject, of course, is federal takeover of subsistence fisheries management in Alaska that officially took effect at 12:01 this morning.
She's really, really good. She's one of our new CDs, and I guess I'll just put it on here and let Kim take it off. Her name is Kim Lenz.
I'm Carol Goff, and I've lived here in Sitka for 20 years. It's really a nice place, and people have been real good to me. I have a mild form of epilepsy, and I walk a lot, and when I've had seizures along the streets or anything, people have been real good to just call the ambulance, and I've never had anybody take anything out of my purse or anything. It's just been wonderful. And I've had the seizures ever since I was in the 5th grade, but there's a chance now I may get over them. The doctors are really thinking I might end it all. And I've at least gotten more and more where I don't have them as often. And also, I just went through chemo. I had cancer. And I'm finally through with the chemo, and I was really thankful through that. I never got sick once through that chemo. And now they don't think I have any more cancer. So it's really been a blessing. I've really got a lot to be thankful for. And then there's been, when I first came here, I was a single mother, and I raised my son here, and it was just wonderful for the way the people were to him. A lot of the men were like dads to him and just real good to him. And he's living in Juneau now. But it's been really a blessing to live here, and people are just like family to you.
name's Jarek, 17. I was born and raised in Sitka. I'm a Scorpio. I don't really know where to start other than talk a little bit about myself. In January, I'll be leaving to Denver for a 6-week training course to go up with people, which is a multicultural leadership program, and it's definitely going to be a cultural change for me. Maybe I'll be traveling Europe for a year with a group of about 150 people, and because I have maybe about 2.5 months left, now I'm down to the wire wondering what I'm going to do with this project and what exactly I want to get out of it. I know I definitely need more diversity in my life. This is a small town, a little bit sheltered, and trying to find some form of expression in this town has been a little difficult. So what I'm hoping to get from this project is just an awareness of the world and more of myself, because I feel like lately I've been selling myself short, and not being as expressive as I could be, or not doing the things I could be doing. I live on my own. I've lived on my own since I was about 16. I was raised by a single mother, so living on my own has been difficult. Just recently, my roommate lost her job, and my roommate's also pregnant now, so again, I thought moving out I would be away from the home, those issues that you don't want to deal with by moving out and being on your own. I just found more. So again, I'll be moving out soon. I guess life philosophies is one of the questions we were talking about. I guess my philosophy is just to further educate myself. There's a lot of learning opportunities in Sitka. You just have to choose to go after them. And I'm interested in learning a lot more about people and myself, mostly myself. So I've had a lot of personal issues, I guess, dealing with myself, and I need to find a better understanding. And that's what I hope to get from this trip. Hopefully seeing myself in 20 years, looking back on this, it wasn't so bad. I don't think Sitka's that bad of a place. It was hard to be raised here. It's small. I think it's great to look at when you're not here. You appreciate it once it's gone, usually. So I'm hoping that by going on this trip, I'll appreciate Alaska more, and I'll appreciate what my family gave to me.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Can I get it falling on the ground?
Okay.
Out of the way, Did you get it?
Yeah, just so.
Did you get the Wayne? It's
Go.
all mutilated. One more time.
It's all mutilated.
Ready?
Yeah.
So you want 5 minutes of my life. A story that somehow contains the essence of 32 years. A story that includes a birth to parents too young in the summer of love, of movement and migration, a funky gyration through mountains, a generous citation chanted from pine. A story of turning up in Scowtown at 4 with a beater Dodge Dart, $20 and my parents in tow. My first memories of reading the stop sign and ignoring the words. I never did learn to stop on time. I just kept on driving. Next memory of crossing irrigation ditches, crawling over iron pipes, hiding in forests, behind married student housing, playing Barney, not the insipid purple two-stepping Texan, but the hip, smart, inventive, courageous Barney of Mission Impossible. Dun 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 ba-da-da, ba-da-da. The story of never staying in a town long enough to care who my friends were or if I had any. Not a lot of power at 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, again, and 12. Just told to go and do and go and don't. Stories of dancing across time waves, bringing friends thousands miles to me by mail, by prayer, by manifestation of their very being, right behind me, center stage, whispering, "Don't let go of her. If you let go now, you will never have her in your life." And me holding tight to Andre and not letting go, but also not being there and not having her anyway. Stories of excess and suicide drives to canyon edges and bridge ledges and too many pills in overheated tubs. Stories of being ready to die at any time. A Lakota warrior buried in my heart, awakening with words, "It is a good day to die." And living. Stories of living at any cost, demanding to stay close to friends and moving 1,000 miles to do it, to build community at the edge of the world, an island hope, washed clean daily by another cloud's lament, another tide's keening cry. A story of living at any cost, a chance encounter at the local Joe stop, my barista days and bachelor days illuminated by Julie and her desire to create a better world. Even now it's hard to think about life, living with asthma, never sleeping fully for fear the liquid will drown my air sacs, for fear a short breath will be my last breath, for fear a burst of energy will burst my lungs and burst my life. Fear that if I actually choose to live, I will have to live fully, without a mask of cynicism and without a fog of addiction. My life is now holding back fear, demanding life, and sharing power with young people. So that's my life. As quickly as I could do it.
Because it downtown might want to set that alarm. Officially, autumn begins. Hopefully.